Ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. It's the Wrestling Caucus. I'm Peter A.
I'm Smiley Arriaga.
And today we're going to go back 10 years, SummerSlam 2013, because by the time this comes out, SummerSlam will be a week away. So I really wanted to rewatch this show with like fresh eyes to see what kind of aged well, what didn't age well. And what I find interesting is that the main events of this show, the people involved are still active.
Yeah,
today.
and they're still like the best like you'll probably find.
Yeah.
In each company.
So, I guess the show opened. It's from the Staples Center, and they had a little bit of a residency here. Miz was the host. I think this was during his like weird like babyface run. Remember that?
I don't think that ever stopped.
He was a babyface for like a cup of coffee.
And it was weird. Like it's weird because it's just like. You know the thing is, like, I actually have a weird thing to say about babyface and heel around this time. I feel like around this time, there weren't really babyfaces or heels in WWE in 2013. Like, and I can elaborate by saying, like, it was like you were a company guy who more often than not the company guys were heels, and they were treated well by the boss, and the commentators always like there are no babyface commentators. You're either a company guy heel, or you're a babyface loser who has no friends and is only supported by the crowd if you're talented enough.
But also, yeah, I think that's fair. But then also, so whenever, like, let's say, John Cena or Randy Orton would wrestle a guy like Bryan Danielson or CM Punk, they would be, the announcers would kind of be like the de facto heels in the sense that they would kind of say like, well, CM Punk and Daniel Bryan or whoever, they might have done something elsewhere, but in WWE,
in the independent scene or Ring of Honor, places that matter, but in WWE, nothing else outside WWE matters.
Because later on, when The Miz and Bryan Danielson had their big program at SummerSlam, the whole thing was the Bingo Hall thing. Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, they got like one of the biggest stadiums in Tokyo, the Tokyo Dome, was a Bingo Hall.
Yeah.
Which is a very American way to think.
Of course. Okay, so Miz was the host, which he's good. He's got a lot of personality, so this is like the perfect thing for him because I've always liked him in that role. Because when he
was outside of the ring, he was great.
Yeah, because he has a reality show TV background and he has a lot of personality. So when he showed up, he was doing Miz TV. That was his first character in WWE. So him doing this was perfect. What's so funny?
The Miz was funny.
Oh yeah, he's hilarious.
Funny guy. Yeah.
Let's see. JoJo sings the national anthem. She was really good.
Yeah, she was really, I was like getting up and like pouring myself something to drink during this.
Yeah.
This is national anthem.
The future Mrs. Wyatt.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's like one of the few interesting facts about Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. Now that we're on the subject, to open the show was the Ring of Fire match.
Oh,
Mr.
Christ.
The aforementioned Mr. Wyatt versus Kane.
This is the last segue. You know one thing, before I get into this match, you know what was more interesting than this match? The intro to SummerSlam, the intro theme song to SummerSlam, was a song that they later used for Akira Tozawa when he came into the company years later.
Really?
Yeah, no, I was like, wait, why do I recognize? Oh, wait, that's Akira Tozawa's. That would become Akira Tozawa's theme.
Yeah.
That was
badass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that was more interesting than this match.
Interesting.
This match, man, was apparently was Bray Wyatt's first match. Apparently,
no, he was on NXT.
As the character Bray Wyatt on the main roster. Whatever.
He has main roster debut.
Yeah,
right.
And
go ahead.
This match would be the rest of his career.
Yep. Just a lot of hoopla going into it, working with a high level guy to give him the rub, but it always just falls flat, which is today, and I would argue even worse. I mean, do we have to give examples? I mean, recently?
It's every match he has.
The Mountain Dew match with Mr. LA Knight?
It's a big gimmick,
yeah.
But the gimmick can never protect that he sucks.
It's all like when you get a cake. Imagine you make a cake, right? And you're presented a cake. It's your birthday cake. And they stick a candle and it's frosting wrapped all around it. Mm-hmm. But then when you actually put a knife in it, it's like all frosting, but where's the foundation?
There's no cake. There's nothing.
There's no cake.
Frosting.
It's just frosting.
It's just cream.
It's like a gas giant for science nerds, right? So Jupiter is a gas giant. It's all atmosphere. It's all gas. It's so big that we don't know what the foundation is. Where's the
or how it
landmass?
even looks like inside.
Exactly. It's all gas. Bray Wyatt is all gas. He's a big gas bag. He's a giant gas bag. That's exactly what he is. And I remember around this time, everyone's saying, "Oh, he is so, oh my God, he's such a good talker. This is the next Undertaker." Oh,
You know
my
something?
God. Yeah.
Like, his entrance feels like you're in Rich's Brew, but in a stadium. There's lights everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Spooky.
And there's a cool song that's kind of chill, but then when the match starts, he just throws. He doesn't even do clotheslines. He just throws his body, and it looks awful.
Follow the buzzers.
Like I've seen Mark Henry throw his body. I've seen Rhino. Rhino doesn't spear people. He just throws his body. But that looks more interesting than watching Bray Wyatt.
You're talking about competent people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
okay, so
workers. My bad.
the rules in this match was pinfall or submission.
What?
It's basically a pinfall or submission Inferno match. But there's been good Inferno matches. Undertaker and Kane. Unforgiven to 1998.
Yeah.
Crowd was dead for most of this. The post-match angle, I got some heat. There was some booze. I gotta give it credit.
Wait, you mean the part where they hit him with the steel steps?
Yeah.
The steel steps didn't touch him.
Yeah. But here's the thing. The crowd, it got a reaction, right? It looked stupid from us watching it. But the thing is, most of this match, there was no heat. Most of this match, there was nothing going on.
Let me try to describe what they did to Kane, right? What they did to him. So, Kane was lying down in front of Bray. Bray delivered some stupid line, like, oh, something dumb. And then Brody Lee, who I miss, and Eric Rowan, they took the steel steps and, it looked like they guillotined him with the steel steps, right?
Yes.
The thing is, from the camera angle, and I'm sure from every angle that can be seen, the stairs, it didn't look like there was no contact to Kane, so Kane had to sell nothing. Yeah, and then the whole time they're putting this over in the show, throughout the whole show, Jesus. Oh, so disturbing. The announcers would be, they did. They tried to put over, they did. In between matches, you would hear the announcers go, "Oh man, that was so disturbing by Bray Wyatt." The stupid fake hush tone, and they're putting over, they're trying hard to put over this guy, and it just felt flat. But
it was flat. It was very flat. Okay, moving on. This was nothing. I hated this match. Not the next match coming. The next match coming, this was easy to follow. Honestly, it was Damien Sandow versus Cody Rhodes.
Oh yeah, and right? I realized there were 2 Money in the Banks. There was Orton and this guy, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this was the SmackDown Money in the Bank.
I put the world title Money in the Bank.
Right, exactly. And Randy Orton had the Raw one.
I was confused for a second. It's wait a minute, how the hell did... Because, I'm watching this match, and I'm Sandow's the Money in the Bank. How the hell did Randy Orton win the title later again? And I'm like, oh wait, there's 2 Money in the Banks.
Yeah. Okay. So, honestly, what'd you think about the Damien Sandow character?
Nothing.
Nothing?
He was... His character's that he's an actor, right?
No. He was he was just like an Ivy League. It's like somebody who goes to college, right? And they're they start using 4-letter words. So he's very high end,
he's very...
It's holier than thou.
Yeah.
He'd come out to operatic music.
I mean, I got his character. I just didn't feel anything from it. You know what I mean? It's just, okay, he's talking. There's someone going to come out.
I thought it was fine. When he came to Long Island, he would diss Nassau Community College. It was very simple heel stuff, but I thought it was fine.
Oh wait, there was that one time he got more over than the Miz, which is not hard, but
yeah,
you remember
the Mizdow thing?
Yeah, and his whole thing is that he imitated Miz better than Miz was Miz,
because that whole thing was Damien Sandow was supposed to be the breakout star. It was supposed to be for the Miz, but the guy was getting more over than him, so they killed it dead. Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. This company was very anti-babyface.
Yeah, Vince was. If you didn't follow the plan,
yeah.
I felt bad. You know what I felt? I felt bad for a lot of guys. I'm shocked that guys like RVD, Chris Jericho. I hate to say it, but it was even Chris Benoit. They got a lot of attention, and WWE started to put the batteries on their backs. I was surprised, because for years they protected Steve Austin, Rock. Everything was centered around them, but Triple H got hurt and all this other stuff. So around this time, if you didn't fit their plan, they're gonna kill you dead. They're gonna kill you, or at least pour some water on you, because he did it to CM Punk, even though. They really trusted him, putting him in huge, big, high-profile matches, and he would knock it out of the park.
That seems to be a common theme in his career, of him being punished for getting over.
Exactly. Damien Sandow, too. But I thought the character was cool. You know, it wasn't a world championship character, but it was a good character. You know, not everybody should be the world champion or should be. You know what I mean? Like, you need something for the undercard. You need a solid mid card. But I would say, like, now, 10 years later, WWE is doing a great job with that.
No, but, this is around the time where they had no mid. You pointed this out to me. They had no mid card at all.
They had no mid card. It was all main event stuff.
And Cody Rhodes, he was pretty good.
The match was fine.
Yeah,
it was a competent wrestling match.
Cody Rhodes' theme is funny, but
whoa, something spoken. It sounded like Dolph Ziggler's song.
Oh yeah, it did sound like I forgot. I forgot
maybe that was Dolph Ziggler's song. Yeah. But anyway, a lot of the songs run together, so I'm probably getting confused. But this, what did you think of this match?
It was, it was fine.
Exactly, it was fine.
It was there.
I mean, because the opening match was so wretched that it was easy. Again,
this resembled a wrestling match.
Yeah,
it did.
It was a competent, solid, professional wrestling match.
The commentators didn't care.
Nobody cared, but it was fine. You know, it was a good showcase for Cody Rhodes, though, even though they didn't really do much with him following this. But it showed you. The thing is with Cody Rhodes around this time, like, you give him time, you give him a shot, he knocks it out of the park. He puts, excuse the pun, he goes all in.
Yeah,
he does. That's what he did here.
Yeah, but then it would be like it's like the WWE process. You get a little over, but then they'll put you in something stupid to kill you.
They kill you dead.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So, anything else to say about this match before we move on?
No.
Okay. So. All right. We have the World Heavyweight Championship match. Alberto Del Rio and Christian. Great. This was awesome. What'd you think?
Like, Christian is great in every era of wrestling that he is in. Like, every era of wrestling that you see him in, he's always great.
Yeah.
Even in AEW, in some of their dumbest angles, he's usually great.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
He was always, like, underutilized. He wasn't utilized properly until he went to TNA as a solo act. Yeah. Because when he was in WWE, like, the last legs of his solo run was awesome. Like, this program with Christian, I don't think it's talked about enough. I think it's outstanding.
Who,
Christian and Chris Jericho.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, they did?
Yeah, they had a program. In, like, they were a team in, like, late 2003, and then Christian, you know...
Oh, is that when Christian still had his cool theme song?
Right before.
Right before he got the
He got that cool theme, like, late 2004.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, they had a really good program. They had a really good violent ladder match at Unforgiven that year. And it was really good. Like, Christian, every time you gave him something, he knocked it out of the park.
He was another one.
Yeah, he was so good. But, this match was so stiff, but...
Another Christian, you never hear anything problematic about him.
No. And he was coming off an injury. And this is the time that he was played concussion, shoulder injury, everything. But they played it into the story of this match, which I thought was great. This was a very stiff match. You have Alberto Del Rio, he's going to hit you harder. That's what he
likes
so
that.
Stiff.
He seems,
But the crowd was really into it. There were a lot of "This Is Awesome" chants early.
Yeah, this was good. Like,
Christian was selling his arm. You know, it was really good, very psychological, and it fit into, you know, Christian was like, okay, yeah, Del Rio's like punch you in the face, brawl, you know, old school lucha libre. You know, he's related to Mil Mascaras, I think, as the announcers pointed out, and yeah, I thought it was just awesome. Like, stuff that WWE doesn't really do, at least at this time. But overall, this was just a really good title match. Yeah, it was like they didn't give a shit about the World Heavyweight Championship around this time at all. Which is why by the end of the year they fused it together, because one title was clearly just something to have, and the other one was clearly the main event because the other title program had Randy Orton involved.
And now they're back to that currently. They're back to that currently. As
I think it's a little bit different because they definitely see Seth Rollins higher on the totem pole than they did with Alberto Del Rio at this time, I think. Well, Seth is an overall better performer than Del Rio. Del Rio has a lot of charisma. He's a great wrestler.
Yeah, it's sad that Del Rio turned out to be a jerk because he really was super talented.
Yeah, he's not. His personal life is not. It's not great.
Well, what is very ironic is that at the end of this match, he was giving a speech about wanting to be a good role model.
Yeah.
The irony in that.
Like, and they went. I don't know if you probably remember, but later this fall, they had a program with Dutch Mantel, Zeb Coulter, with Jack Swagger, Jake Hager, and they basically said all these guys like Del Rio will cross over our borders. very anti-immigration. I think,
which is not surprising, seeing that Vince is friends with Trump.
Yeah, like this was not good because I don't know. They should have learned their lesson with the Muhammad Hassan and Davari thing.
They never learned their lesson. They don't. They don't learn from.
It was not. It was not good. It was bad.
They never learned from anything.
It was just. To me, it was very flat. Anything else to say about this? It's a great match. Go see it.
Anytime you can see Christian, it's great.
Yeah, he was really good. They showed a video package with Maria Menounos. Did an interview with The Miz, and I like Maria Menounos. I don't know why. She's good. She's very pretty and she's very personable. And I think WWE should have used her more in like a backstage interview.
I think she has a very funny laugh. Every time we go see a movie and she does like those interviews, like her laugh just
every time we see her ads or whatever, I'm like, you should be back in WWE.
No, don't stay far away from them.
No, I want to see you wrestle again. Remember when she wrestled at WrestleMania 28?
No, wait. What happened?
She was in a match. I don't remember who. She was in a tag match, and everything because we were watching it with Elton, right? Literally everything that happened to her, she wouldn't sell it. She would laugh.
Oh, that's why wait, no. Here's the thing. I hated her as a performer because she didn't sell. I hated that. So no, I don't. I started to like her when I saw her in movie theaters. I don't want to go back to here.
I want her back into wrestling. Right?
Well, she fit in AEW. No one sells there. So
bring her anywhere. I don't care where. I don't care where. Make her the FTW champion. I don't care. I want to see her in some sort of wrestling.
FTW champion, isn't it?
It's Jungle Boy.
Oh God. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's another thing.
Next was Natty versus Brie Bella.
This was rough.
Listen. And Natalya is a very good wrestler who has always dealt the worst hand.
Yeah.
She was the only I don't miss the diva era. I don't miss them referring to women as divas. I don't miss what it meant. I don't miss everything that came with it. Yeah. I'm not nostalgic about that. I'm not because it's just what's so hard about finding women who can wrestle and having them presenting them like performers? It took them years. They just started doing that in the past 4 years.
Yeah.
They just started doing that in the past 4 years.
Which is why I don't want to be too hard on this match because
Natalya's great.
Yeah, the girls were never given enough time, and the crowd never liked it because you're not trying. Not the wrestlers in the ring, but
the creative team. They didn't try anything to put anything behind them.
Exactly. Go out there and bullshit your way, and then be done.
And look good and be good looking.
Just look pretty and just do your shit. And honestly, you know what the crowd was chanting during this match? They want tables.
They were
chanting for tables.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
This was just everyone who's on Total Divas, go out for a match. That's what it was, because Total Divas started around this time. And, the crowd didn't care about it. Surprise, surprise. And the match wasn't that good either. It wasn't supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to be an athletic contest. Just people going through the motions, do your things, do your... whatever. Go out and get your steps in the ring. That's really what it was.
It was a live developmental match.
Exactly.
Essentially.
Yeah, it was just it was a failure on all parts. If they actually tried to do something, it probably would have been fine. You could have used you could use the reality show TV tie-in thing, but they didn't do this match any favors. It was just a nothing. No one gave a shit, and yeah, Divas era is glad that's over. Okay, moving on. Oh my God.
Ryback. He sucks. That's all I have to say about it.
Oh, you're talking about the Ryback thing backstage?
Yeah.
You really want to talk about that?
Oh, no, I thought that's what you were saying that was next.
No.
I wrote everything in order. So. We don't have to talk about that.
No, we don't. We don't need to.
We said enough about him.
Yeah. Okay. CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar.
Oh, yeah, this nobody.
This joke. Yeah,
this
nobodies. Bunch
these
of
two
geeks.
idiots.
This stupid nerds.
Nah, this
Marks.
was... You know something? Every time we be watching a bad match on TV or people just didn't know how to work, I'll be thinking about this match. Or no, every time people would be like, "Oh, CM Punk can't wrestle or Brock can't wrestle," I would think about this match. I'm like you guys just never, this was one of Brock's best matches when he came back.
This was unbelievable, and
this was amazing.
Even 10 years later, I remember when it happened, I'm like, this is amazing, and then I watched it again maybe a year or two ago, and then I watched it recently. I'm like, this is outstanding. And the crowd loved both of them. They had a superstar reaction. And Punk is coming off of... this year was pretty... he lost to The Rock. He lost to The Undertaker. He lost to John Cena on Raw. But all those performances were outstanding.
They were the best performances. Like, all the people you just named, those were their best matches in years.
Yeah.
That was the best Rock match in years.
Yep.
That was the best Undertaker match in years. That was the best Cena match. CM Punk just made magic with whoever he touched.
He's a rock star.
Well,
he was unbelievable.
And this was interesting because the psychology of this match wasn't this it wasn't. It was bigger than any title match in this show, probably of that year. It was just because Punk was angry at Heyman for betraying him.
Yeah.
And Brock was simply Frankenstein. Frankenstein's monster.
Yep.
Paul Heyman was Dr. Frankenstein, and Brock was Frankenstein's monster. And Punk, I'm going to kill Frankenstein's monster to kill Frankenstein.
It's great.
But it was also to a fault, because there were multiple times where he had Brock beat. Or he was going to beat him, but either Heyman got in the way, or Punk's pride got in the way. Yeah. And they were very good. Everyone here was good at telling that story. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was an old school brawl. Nothing fancy at all, but very, very effective. Everything they did mattered. Everything they did came across as whoa, it was getting a jolt of electricity. It's just oh my goodness.
Yeah, Brock was just killing him.
Yeah, it was CM Punk did some very clever high flying. He did the flying lariat off the top of the announce table.
Sense.
Yeah, yeah. And it was basically just Punk using a lot of strategic high-flying moves to ground Brock Lesnar. I don't know if you ever saw this. Backlash 2003, it was Big Show versus Rey Mysterio. I watched it, me and Elton watched it recently. It's outstanding. It was the perfect David versus Goliath type of match. It was unbelievable. This was similar in the sense that Punk's role was not. He was sort of the underdog, but he was a more formidable underdog. You think that it was almost like in MMA. It's okay, this fighter is smaller than this big fighter, but this small fighter can get a few effective jabs in. He could probably choke you out. If you're not careful. Because
Brock was just looking at him as food, but but then even Brock was surprised. Oh wait, this guy actually wants to. The thing, all the anger that Punk had towards Heyman, he was taking it out on Brock to get to Heyman.
Exactly.
That.
Yeah. It was really good. Brock was just the best beast. He was just tossing Punk around like a ragdoll. And you could definitely tell.
It's hysterical how scary Brock Lesnar is.
It's scary. He's a scary man. He's even scarier now. He's scarier now with the beard and the fact that he has a butcher shop.
He was laughing while breaking Cody Rhodes' arm in front of his mother. He's laughing.
Yeah, he's even scarier now. I'm more scared of him now than I was in 2013.
I don't know. I was pretty scared of this Brock.
He's scary.
He's scary. The shaved head just makes him look scary.
I was very concerned for CM Punk.
Yeah.
I was concerned. But CM Punk held his own, and you could tell Brock Lesnar definitely respected CM Punk because they went a while. Brock Lesnar let CM Punk do the most to him, which I was shocked.
And Brock gave a shit. That's it. When Brock gives a shit, it's magic.
If he doesn't respect you, he's gonna treat you like John Moxley and just beat you in 10 minutes with nothing. Remember when?
How can I forget?
No. When Moxley was talking about this, he went up to Brock. He's like, "Okay, Brock, when are we gonna? Let's talk about what we're gonna do." And Brock Lesnar said this. You can tell he didn't give a fuck about this guy. He went up to him and he was like, "Don't worry, everything's gonna be okay.
Everything's gonna be alright, buddy." And he patted me on the shoulder. Well, you know something? You look at the differences between Punk's work now and Moxie's work now. I can understand why Brock respected CM Punk.
Mox he's great, but he definitely respected CM Punk.
Yeah,
He did not respect Moxley, but he respected CM Punk. But think about it. Moxley was not. Moxley, at least in that time, he wasn't the star he is now.
No.
And Punk was a much bigger star on the independents before he got to WWE. Punk was already a name. Punk, he became a bigger name. In 2013, he was one of the biggest stars in WWE. Yeah. Moxley was not one of the biggest stars in WWE in 2016. The Shield was a good act together, but individually they weren't the stars they were yet. So I can understand why Brock would not have the same respect for Moxley as he
I just
would
imagine
in this
Moxley
match.
like with a big list of like stuff he wants to do, and Brock is like,
no, because now like Punk is a star. Punk and Brock probably made a lot of money off this. This was a big deal. It was pay-per-view. This was before the network.
This match is better than most things that are on wrestling today.
No shit. No cap at all.
Like,
yeah.
God.
This is phenomenal. Just go back. Go out. This is good theater in the best way.
This
was combative
in the very
theater.
best way.
In the best way, yeah. Okay, the main event. One of the best WWE title matches in the last decade.
Oh, you don't want to talk about the classic that was AJ Lee and Big E versus Ziggy?
What do you have to say about that?
Nothing.
What do you have to say?
All we have to say about that is AJ Lee deserved better.
Okay.
That's all.
Moving on. Read a book. That's it. Okay.
Read AJ Lee's book.
Read the book. I still have to. I want to. Okay. John Cena versus Bryan Danielson, WWE title. This was interesting because was what I was talking about earlier. Like when you have a guy like John Cena who's like who made his name in WWE, WrestleMania main events, and etc. Then you have a guy like Bryan Danielson, who is a superstar in the independents and internationally. Not as he didn't have the WrestleMania main events that John Cena had, but he was a star everywhere else. So that was kind of part of the story. And Vince was like, "You're not, the people like you, but you're just like a quote unquote B+ player."
Think about that.
Yeah.
Think about that. The people that pay money to come see our shows don't matter because they like you. Think about that.
Vince, it's WWE. They think that, okay, this is going to be like Steve Austin and Vince. We're just going to, like, bury you, and then you're going to... the crowd's going to get behind you, and in that way you win. That's what we're going to do, because that's what we did to Steve Austin. And that's not what they did to Steve Austin. That's not what they did.
Oh my God.
So them burying him was good for him in their eyes. But what they don't understand is that what you did, you just told your audience that we're out of touch. We don't listen. We don't listen. We don't listen. And that's it. Like, this guy's great. This guy's a star. The crowd loves this guy.
You like him? You like him? Well, guess what? We're gonna shoot him.
You don't. Yeah. It's like if you run a radio station. WWE is like a radio station, right? So imagine your fans. Like, say if you're a hip hop station, right? Okay, Freddie Gibbs and Madlib just dropped Bandana, right? Or if you're a radio station in 2004 when Mad Villainy dropped, and your fans are calling you, "Yo, you got the new MF Doom, Madlib? It got the new." Everyone's calling you to play that. Everyone's calling you. They're like, "We're not playing that because our audience doesn't want to. Our audience just want to hear that. We can't play that stuff in the daytime."
But we are your audience, and we're telling you that we like
it. And the audience is telling you what they want. They're tweeting you or whatever. Well, in 2004, they're emailing you. They're sending you postcards or whatever the fuck. But WWE was like that. WWE was, in this time, they were the top 40 station that was out of touch with their audience. So, in this match was interesting because John Cena was they said this. The announcers were like, John Cena is the entertainer. Bryan Danielson is the wrestler.
But they're all wrestling. They're all wrestling in a Okay, listen. This match was interesting in like look, Vince McMahon, the creative team, I hated them. I felt like the biggest feud that was going on in this company for years was the creative team and the fans.
Yeah.
You like this guy? Well, guess what? Now we're gonna kill him only because you want to see him.
The creative team is trying to pop Vince.
Basically,
that's it.
Yeah, and like this match was interesting because it kind of not just because it rose above that bullshit, just because you can't hide how talented Bryan Danielson is. It was interesting. It's like I was saying how like most of the company guys were heels. Cena is interesting because he was a company face.
Yeah,
he was a baby face. He was a good guy. He treated everybody with respect on TV and off screen.
Didn't cheat.
Oh yeah, you're right. On and off screen. And in fact, he would make it a thing to his character beat up cheaters.
Yeah.
He beat up cheaters. I shouldn't say his character, but like Cena was a face, but he would never get more cheers than a guy like Daniel Bryan, who was a real babyface.
Yeah.
He was like the babyface that the actual babyface, and the company hated babyfaces.
And they were stupid. They thought, because he started to get more cheers when he lost in 12 seconds to Sheamus, 18 seconds, whatever it was. but like, you know that's not how you make a star.
No, but he was getting cheers before that.
Yeah, like, you know what the Steve Austin formula is, like, he was a badass. He beat people's ass. And he beat up the boss.
But the thing is, the company was behind him, too.
Yeah, exactly.
The company should be behind their babyface. I said this before, but, like, the commentators, there were no babyface commentators. Like JR was a commentator that always stuck up for the babyface. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
oh, like, who had hope. But, like, Michael Cole, he flip-flopped. Like, one minute he'd be like, yeah, go Daniel Bryan. Next minute he'd be like, well, yeah, Daniel Bryan was always going to lose this. Because, you know, he can't beat the other guy. I'm like, whose side... Are none of you on the side of the babyface right now? All of you are rooting for the bad guy?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that makes no sense. It was like... Ugh.
And Triple H special guest referee, which is kind of interesting because, you know, in real life, Triple H is moving up the ranks, right? And Triple H, as we've seen in years after this, Triple H had a different view from pro wrestling than Vince McMahon did, obviously. You watch NXT circa 2016, you watch Monday Night Raw circa 2016, taking away a few people, it's two different products, right? So, and Triple H was supposed to be like, you know, the unbiased party. He's going to call this thing right down the middle, and he's going to make sure no shady business. A title match is going to go. It's going to go as planned. And this was a really good babyface versus babyface match. Even though they love Bryan Danielson, hated Cena by proxy, but this was a good example of how to do a really good babyface versus babyface match. I'll give a great modern example, like, you know, Hangman Page and CM Punk in AEW. That was a babyface versus babyface match. But Mr. Page went in another direction. He went too far into that pool. Like, okay, I can understand.
He thought he was more over than he was.
No, that, you know, you went too far. You went way too far. You know, you're basically saying Punk was a detriment to AEW, which that shouldn't be the story.
I'm going to protect the company from money.
No, it doesn't make sense. Like, right. So it's challenging to do a babyface versus babyface match, but like I think people should watch this because this was a great example to do that. You don't need to have black and white with wrestling. You really don't.
Wait, you know a good example of that? Well, before AJ went heel, AJ and Moxley.
AJ Moxley, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good.
Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles.
Well, Roman was
2016. Yeah, but the thing is,
principle.
you're right, but he wasn't a character.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, on paper he was. Yeah, that's true. But Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio, WrestleMania 21.
Yeah,
that was a.
Yeah,
everyone loved them.
But the thing is, in that match they were teasing Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, of course, yeah. It was used to tease,
right.
But at
exactly.
that time, yeah.
But you're right. That is true.
But that's what made that heel turn so powerful.
Yeah.
Was because back then they didn't do heel turns every other week. Two, they built to that for months.
Yeah.
For a long time.
And the one thing about this match I thought was interesting, because Brock Lesnar and CM Punk, they beat the piss out of each other in the match before. This match, it was a old school classic wrestling match.
Yeah, grappling
They
match.
exchanged holds, and it was wonderful.
Which is something you rarely see in wrestling nowadays.
Yeah, they went 30 minutes plus, and it was kind of like CM Punk and John Cena at Money in the Bank 2 years prior. But the difference was, you know, there was no like, okay, CM Punk's gonna leave. There was no like.
Well, that match had a happy ending.
Right, exactly. This match, as we saw Bryan Danielson get this huge victory, and then out comes Randall Keith Orton. Out comes Mr. Orton. He comes out with the Money in the Bank briefcase.
God.
Hands it over to Hunter. Then Hunter pedigrees Bryan Danielson.
No. Yeah, Randy walked to the ring.
Yeah.
He started to walk back, but then he looked back. And then Hunter gave him the pedigree.
I was shocked when I saw that. The first time I saw that, I'm like,
you know something? In hindsight, I'm like, I felt stupid for not seeing that coming. Because saying like, Triple H is saying like, oh, Daniel Bryan, you know, everyone loves him. He's saying everything that makes logical sense.
But then you really think about Triple H.
Yeah, no, exactly. No,
the cerebral assassin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, watching him say everything that made logical sense. Oh, Daniel Bryan is a people's guy. He's talented. I'm thinking in my head, he's gonna kill this guy.
Yeah.
He's gonna. And then think about it. He came out as a referee, right? He had knee pads on. He's gonna pedigree him. He's wearing pedigree pants.
This bastard, slide bastard.
Jesus.
What'd you think of Randy Orton beating him in this moment?
Well, it's typical WWE. It's like, wow, you got a great wrestling main event, and we're gonna just take the air out of it. Randy Orton is very talented.
Yeah.
But like they're trying to go for an Infinity War thing. Like, oh, the villain won. What's gonna happen? But it was more like, oh, their guy won.
No, I liked it at this point because I'm like, oh.
Well, it was done very well.
Exactly.
Well, look, of all the times like that kind of stuff was done in WWE, this is one of the better versions.
I thought that, Bryan's going to chase for this. And then look what happened. I gave this the benefit of the doubt. There was some moments where they lost their way a little bit. Then they got right back on track, and what happened? WrestleMania. But the thing is, that's another thing. Yes, at the end, Bryan Danielson won the following WrestleMania.
Because they were backed into a corner and they had to put him over.
Exactly.
They had to. They had no choice. Because like the crowd was literally like, listen, we don't want to watch this stuff anymore.
It's like, okay. Some people like me, it's like, okay, all right, I'm going to see where this is going to go. But then Batista comes back and he wins the Royal Rumble. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? And then they put the Royal Rumble 2014. I think we have to talk about that show in January.
We have to watch the whole show?
We gotta talk about this show. Okay, so you have Bryan Danielson versus Bray Wyatt. People are booing this shit to high heaven. The Royal Rumble match comes. No Bryan Danielson. They boo this shit. Where's Undertaker? Where's Macho Man? We want Divas. We want all this stuff.
Do we have to watch the whole show?
Probably not.
I hated WWE.
That's just what's going on here?
This
and
show.
Then they were like, okay, this shit's going left. Batista's getting booed. Randy Orton's getting booed. John Cena's getting booed. We can't do this. Bryan Danielson, we gotta put him back.
No, and the worst part was that this was the only wrestling that was like kind of on TV at the time.
Yeah, it was a wasteland.
It was just this.
Yeah.
And then
Impact was a disaster. You don't need to talk about that. Oh my god. But Ring of Honor was just whatever. There was some good matches, but it was just good matches. It was nothing. But anyway, they got back on track because they had to, because the crowd was over. It was scary. Every Raw you watched in the spring of 2014, it was Bryan Danielson.
Look at the effort that they went into just to make one babyface.
Yeah.
One.
But overall, the show was really good.
Oh yeah,
it aged well. There was a few potholes along the way, but overall, this was a great show.
Despite WWE's typical crap, this show was pretty awesome. It was one of the better SummerSlams.
Worth the money, to be honest. If you find it, honestly, if you don't have Peacock and you find a DVD of this anywhere, pick it up. Honestly, if it's like $10, pick it up.
It's very much worth it.
Yeah. All right. It's the Wrestling Caucus. I'm Peter A.
I'm Smiley Arriaga.
And you can follow us on socials. The links are in the description. And it's time to go to a party to eat.